call creative self-defense. Bad guy versus good guy fighting. I think, and I'm just theorizing, that this is how katas were started. They were taking human combat and coming up with patterns of movement to practice that replicated human-to-human interactions just done solo. So now we're in essence going back in time to the historical components of kata, which was the birthing of a lot of the moves that we're even doing today. The kata that we're doing today is called Pinan Sandan. It's the third Sandan, the third of the Pinan series of forms. We're going to do half of the form today, maybe a little bit more than half, and then we're going to take a look at a Bunkai, an analysis of what the moves could be combatively. So let's come to attention position. Koski. Yoi. The first move of the form of Pinan Sandan is to look to the left, to retreat into a short cast stance. So right leg steps away, turn, short cast stance with the left. I'm going to execute a left-handed outside block. The block starts from underneath my arm, and then apply the block. So again, the movement looks this way. Look, back step, set, apply the single block. Your turn. Okay, go back. Again, watch, look. Your turn. Reset, let's go back again. So now short cast stance should have square hips and shoulders to our opponent. The opponent is at my left. So when I turn, square shoulders, square hips to the opponent, and then block. Reset, one more time. Okay, quick highlight, look at the right arm. The right arm cannot stay in its position. So when I look, the right hand must extend to give my left hand a place to go to apply the block. So from here, the right hand sets at my hip, very pointy elbow. Your turn. Okay, here's the next move. From this position, we drop the front foot flat on the floor, bring the trailing foot, which is my right up next to it. Feet touch at the toes and the heel. The outside block is going to become a down block, and I'm going to build an outside block with my right hand. So left hand goes down as the right hand comes up. We have this double block, outside block plus down block. This way. Your turn. Go ahead and bring both blocks. All right, go back. This is the first two movements. First move. Retreat step, set, and block. Now we move forwards. Drop the heel, step forward, double block. Right hand's up, left hand's down. Next, we swap our hand positions. Right hand goes down block, left hand does outside block. Hey. Okay, take a look at just the footwork. You ready? No hands, just the feet. First move, back step, short cast stance. Then drop the front heel, bring my feet together for the rest of the movements. This stance, feet touching at the toes, at the heels with soft knees, is a formal stance called Haisoko Dashi. Haisoko Dashi is feet together stance. That's the stance. All right, I'll give you a few minutes, maybe 2, 3. Practice that first sequence. This is what you're practicing. Here, here, and there, and that's it. So we have a couple elements when it comes to kata. We have form, which is a process of human perfection. It's an artistic expression of human perfection, mind synced up with body to do precise movements with all kinds of details, right? And then there's the bunkai, which is the analysis. And in the analysis, the artistic components kind of leave, and there's enough essence still there in the battle scene that you can see the form, right? And so we're gonna look at both. Right now, we're doing the kata just as kata should be, human perfection. So we have all the details to try to get your body to conform to. Let's take a look at this move here, right? I got the first of the duplicate. So in this position, if I take a look at myself in the mirror and I analyze my hand positioning, my right hand and my left hand should be both touching a vertical wall at the same time. But if I have this one back and this one forward, this hand would hit the wall, but this hand wouldn't. So there's not symmetry in my positioning. But if I extend so both fists are on the wall, then if my elbows are in the same position, the same axis, elbows, versus having one here and one there, right? So I've got this nice line as I apply the movements. So I've got a right angle, or, with my position, with my hand position. And it builds symmetry, and it's the artistic expression of human perfection to have it artistically look nice, right? Let's do it together from the beginning. Pinan Sandan. First move. Look, back step, set, and apply the block, square hips, square shoulders. Next, we're gonna drop the foot and step into our feet together stance. Hey, double block once. Take a look at yourself in the mirror. How's it look? Now we're gonna do the other one. Hey, take a look. How's it look? Got symmetry? Next move. I'm gonna move over here so you can see. My right foot is gonna back step, and my right shin is resting against my calf. I'm on the ball of my foot. I'm gonna spin towards the mirrors, and as I spin, my right hand goes underneath my left arm. When I turn, now I'm in a right leg short cast stance with a set position for the block, and then apply the short cast stance outside block. So from this position, it looks like this. Your turn. Hey! So right leg is in front, applying short cast stance, right hand's executing a single block. The next movement, we're gonna drop the front heel, bring our trailing foot up so it touches, and apply the double block, left hand up. Hey! Now repeat. Hey! Okay, so now we have two sequences. Let's pick it up from where we left off. So here's what's next. We look to the left. So we're looking at the forward direction. My left leg, watch the toes. Heel up, slide on the toes, and it makes a C step. I'm carving the letter C in the floor until I land in a medium cat stance. So I got 70% of my weight on the back leg, 30% in the front. So if I put my center of balance dead center, I would shift it to the back leg. It's not dead center, it's back. So there's the feet. Watch the hands. As the foot is traveling, the right hand falls down to the opposite elbow. Left hand rises up to the opposite elbow. The hands find the elbow. So it looks like this. Look, C step, hands find each other. At the conclusion of my step, my hands have found elbows. Now this movement is done with fast and slow. Fast head, slow transition. Once we find this position, slow outside block with the left hand. Right hand comes all the way back to the hip, pointy elbow, pinch your shoulder blades. When there's slow movements in kata, it's to remind us how to breathe. The breathing is inhale through the nose, exhale out the mouth, and it makes a sound. So watch, I look and breathe. Step, exhale. At the conclusion of my movement, I'm out of breath. Your turn, here we go. Hey, look, inhale, C step, hands find elbows. Finish the movement slowly as you exhale. Do it again. Ready? Feet are touching. Here we go. Hey, look, breathe. To here. Next, my right leg takes the lead in a forward stance. Spear hand strike, forward stance. Hey! Go back. We're here. Ready? We're gonna look, inhale. Hey! Step. Holding breath, exhaling. We wanna hear the breathing. Next move, step in, strike. Hey! Go back. Last time. Here we go. Hey! Next move. Hey! Strike. Here's what's next. My left hand is gonna reach up and grab the base of my right hand's wrist. Go ahead and do that with me. I'm gonna shift my stance from a forward stance to a modified horse stance, And as I modify my stance, I pinch my elbows together at my belly button. Ready? Hey! Now I keep my right foot where it is. I bring my left foot to my right foot. And then perform a spin. Step out of the spin with your left and perform a back knuckle strike with your left. Ready? Left leg moves. Hey! Left, touch, spin backwards. All the way around, step out of it. Back knuckle strike to the ribs. Let's go back to where we started. We're here. Looking to the front, breathing. Hey. Stepping. Exhaling. Stepping, front leg stance. Hey. Spear hand. Grab the base of the wrist. Elbows together. Modified horse stance. Back step, feet touch first. Spin. Back knuckle strike in a horse stance. Here's what's next. Back leg is going to take the lead in a forward stance, but I need to get this front foot to adjust. It opens, allowing my step to step, right leg forward stance, and punch. Your turn. Hey! Let's go back. This concludes the forward sequence. So we're in this position. Hey, look. C-step. Breathing. Hey! Spear hand. Grab the wrist. Modified horse stance, pinch elbows. Spin backwards. Horse stance, back knuckle strike. Open up the front foot, step in, front lunge punch. This is the first ki of the kata. A little bit now, technically we've accomplished half of the kata. So 3 sequences, the conclusion of 3 sequences is half the form. But since we're gonna couple the bunkai with it, the bunkai leaves us in a funny spot if we end there. So let's go ahead and add some more components of the kata so we interact with each other. It finishes off a bad guy. So here's where we left off in the kata. Right leg forward stance punch. This is our last move. Would you meet me here? So here's what's next. Left foot is gonna move to my right foot as I turn around. Hands come to the hips, elbows are out. So doing it nice and smooth, it comes to here. Your turn. Hey! All right, go back. Good. Right leg's forward, left leg is the mover. Takes me this way. Hands at the hips. Go ahead. Toes touch. Heels touch. Here's what's next. Right leg is going to do a front kick. However, I keep my bottom back. So when I do my right leg kick, I snap the kick out. I don't move my hips. My hips stay back. So I kick, maintain balance, finish a step that's able to rotate into a horse stance. One more time, hips back, kick, maintain balance, step, pivot into horse stance. Your turn. Hey! Now bring your right elbow, maybe turn this way. Right elbow is gonna swing across. Hands stay on the belt. Turning, hands at the hips. I didn't mention it, but turn your right hand over so it's palm up prior to the right leg kick. So our stance is here, right hand flips over, stays on the belt. Right leg kicks. Go ahead and transition into the horse stance. Roll the elbow across. Okay, go back, let's do it again. Ready? Right leg forward. Here we go, left leg moves, turn, hands at the belt. Hips are back. Right hand flip, right leg kick. Step, roll, bring the elbow across. So we have a bad guy on the left, which causes us to have our attention directed to the left. What we receive is a back leg roundhouse kick to the head from the attacker. So as this is happening, I'm gonna do it slowly, just in the air. As the kick is heading towards my head, I do my movement to here. Now this hand on my head is my cover for the kick. It's not here, it's modified to here. So he does the kick, and I go to here. This hand is gonna underhook his leg as this hand grabs his wrist. So now take a look in the air. So if you just hold on for a second. In the air, my first movement is here instead of here. When I go to catch the kick, look what my hands do. I have to go down to get under the kick, and I gotta grab his wrist. My hands are in this relationship. So let's take a look at the Bunkai again. I turn, the kick comes, and I'm here, underneath, grab the wrist. Now, I take my right leg, and I bring it up, and I'm gonna step behind his leg and do a takedown. Upon the takedown, look, he goes down, brings my right hand down, my left hand is up. Left hand's up, right hand's down. So again, just in the air, I have my movement here. This is the next. This is the takedown. The takedown has my hands in this position. The takedown is what does the bad guy in because of the landing. Let's team up and let's explore this Bunkai together. If you want to do the takedown slowly, would you do it again? If I want to be nice, I can step and just spin them around my leg for a nice soft landing and get the same result. All right, thanks. So we had just done this, right? So then as we turn, and we're in this position, would you switch your stance? He's going to do a back leg roundhouse kick to the head, which is the same as the other sequence. However, I'm just doing my other side. Sometimes we call it traditional or non-traditional. It's the same ingredients, I'm just doing my other side, right? Right hands to the left, right short cast stance, right is to the left. Anyway, this is where my mind goes, right? So I've done this in real life, self-defense in the dojo, right? Somebody kicks, catch the leg, take them down. It's not that rare of a move, it's fairly common. So what if you're in the old days back in Okinawa and you do these moves, you practice, and you're gonna try to record this for transportation to other places. Instead of writing it all down, you're modeling what happens in space. It may not have even looked as clean, but it might have been something that was more like what we're doing. And over time, it gets refined into something that has artistic beauty. But it wasn't created to be artistic, it was created to be combative. And so this is a sample of potentially what has happened over time, and then we're going back and we're reanalyzing it. If I can have you again, Nick. So we left off the form something like this, right? Would you come to my left side, which would be the front for the form? So now we're looking like this, we pick up a new attacker. Would you take your right hand and grab the back of my neck? So we have somewhat of a clinch happening on the back of the neck for control. We don't want to give up center line. So in response, I take this block and I just hook him behind the neck on the center of the clinch. Then I'm gonna take a step with my right. I'm gonna grab his wrist with my right. So this is the spear hand, the step and the grab. My left hand leaves his neck and I cup the elbow and I do what's called an arm drag. I bring his arm across my center line. Now my left arm is above his and my right hand is by his hip. Fist on hip, hand wraps neck, push hips, pull head. Really enhance their hips forward, controlling the head. My next movement is to bring my left foot to my right and spin. Look his head, I can turn his head. So as I spin, set his head down. This is the spin to here. Let's take a look at the form in the air. So no bad guy, just in the air, right? So I come to here, take the inside of his clinch, step forward, grab the wrist, arm drag, grab the head, push the hips, spin with the head, takedown. Now with the bad guy, please. We're in this position, take the inside clinch, step, grab the wrist, arm drag, catch the head, push the hips. Turn down by peeling the head, twisting the head, and it puts us here. Okay, thank you. So if you remember, we still have, the hands together component of the form. So if we pick it back up maybe from here, right? And he gives me the hand on the neck for the clinch, and then I take the inside clinch position, grab his wrist as I step, arm drag, hook his neck, push his hips. Really exaggerate this. Give a good push of the hips. Make them need your body for stability. They'll fall without you. Then look at my hand, it opens, back of the hand against his face, so that when I spin, I can turn his head. So I'm gonna disappear. He needs me, but I'm gonna be gone. Put the head on the floor, right? Next, don't like quick rotations, right? So that puts me here, thanks. Would you come up in the front position again? So now my next move is to take a step with my right and do a punch. However, we're not gonna do a punch at all. So what we're gonna be doing is taking our right hand and trying to hook around the back of the neck. So I take a step and I just grab the new bad guy and I take the lead around the neck. Free hand now is gonna grab the uniform at the sleeve or the wrist. Then if you remember the form, this is the punch, I need to come to here. So I've got this wrap, and then I back step in. And then I've got his head and his arm, and I pull him in tightly. Looks like this, right? Then we take a step, right? We have our kick and our step, and the step allows us to bring him over our stance to the floor. We throw. So let's do it one more time. So we just took one bad guy out, now there's a new bad guy, we're proactive. We just reach up, grab him, step, step, throw over the back. Okay, it's not a nice looking judo throw, but it's not a judo kata. It's a karate kata. And there are pictures of people like Gichin Funakoshi doing throws just like this, over a horse stance. So it's a legit throw. Karate people have done it a long time ago, but if you like judo like I do, it feels like a terrible version of a judo throw. But the person ends up on the ground either way. Okay? So now that completes the package that we practiced form on today, and now we can practice it with a combative partner and kind of put the pieces together, see what this might have been. The Okinawans were creating karate. They were very much interested in the actual combatives, hand to hand, right? And so they have katas, and when they train katas, they're really interested in the bunkai more than the form and the artistic application of the kata. So you typically don't see Okinawan style karate in a bunch of tournaments because their skill set doesn't match the sport model, right? Then you have the Japanese models that came down from Gichin Funakoshi, and they're very much into the artistic application. So when the Japanese took over karate and in essence reclaimed it for their own, they changed it and they broadcast it through a wide public arena. And part of what they did is they took the violence out so that it would sell better. And it became an artistic application and was well received by the population. And it hit in a time where things started to explode around the world because it was just after World War II and information and ideas were able to spread much faster than ever before. So because karate became popular at that moment in time is why we have karate like it is today. So if you watch the upcoming Olympic version of karate, it's going to be very much in the Japanese flavor. The Japanese are hosting it, right? And you're going to see beautiful artistic forms, all about presentation. You're going to see bunkai that looks nothing like this kind of raw, street fighting. You're going to see stuff that's really Hollywood or flashy and is very eye appealing, but not necessarily what you would see in a real fight. And then you're going to see point sparring with a very limited set of rules that's going to be very similar to something that might be like fencing, but with punches and kicks. You're going to see that model of sport, which is in essence the direction the Japanese culture has taken karate, but the Okinawan version is different. So here we lie as a dojo that is a blend of three styles. Shorin-ryu is our primary. It's Okinawan. Shotokan, Japanese. Wado-ryu, Japanese. So we're kind of this middle ground. We have bunkai and we have competition forms. They're same, but they're different. They have a different emphasis. And so part of what we're doing now with the updated curriculum is trying to show people both aspects of what kata is all about. So if you're a pragmatist, you like the practical applications, you see some movements that we drill combatively in the form, and you go, oh, that's interesting, now I can appreciate the form more so. And if you like the artistic components, you can enjoy it for that aspect as well.